Hey everyone, so I just wanted to go ahead and talk about my journey going through the Top Cut Comics Chicago 1K tournament this past weekend. It was a very fun experience. I got to play a whole bunch of different decks, and this is just my story of how it went. So, arrived to the venue night before, if not a few days before. I was getting straight up destroyed at all my locals, going 0-2, 1-2, 2-3. Because I tried to hit as many turns as I could for the event, and my confidence levels were low going into this tournament. But I don't know. I was like, it's a 1K. I'm gonna just do it, man. This is the deck I'm most comfortable with, and we just go play. So I went ahead and I played Gold Amber Steel, but I only had 2 Rapunzels, and I didn't have the Carefree Surface Stitches at all. So I was basically just relying on Aerials and Rockstar Stitches going into this tournament. So yeah, we get there, pay the venue fee, and then go into the first round. Now, the first round was against a Sapphire Steel ramp. Sapphire Steel ramp off the bat, and man was ramping it up with his Fishbones Quills. He did hit me with a whole new world at one point, so I just played a really aggressive Lilo Simba combo, and was trying to lure up as fast as I could, and I was able to take the first game, and then the second game I was able to get my Rockstar Stitch off in the second game, turn 4 shift, able to lure up way too fast for him to keep up with, and I think I was able to drop 3 bodies the following turn. Yeah, I was able to drop 3 bodies the following turn before it got let go into the Inkwell. Good old Inkwell. But by that point, I was at like 13 lore to his 6, and then I quested for 6 the following turn, and it wasn't much of an answer he could do because he didn't have a hand, and I was not giving him a hand either. so yeah, that's how the first round went with 2-0. Then the second match happened. Now the second match was against one of the best local players who was bodying me, mind you, throughout multiple weeks leading up to this tournament. And yeah, so we go into it. We didn't know which each other's deck was playing, but he wanted to die. He started off, and he ended up showing me he was running Emerald Amethyst. Now, this deck is a very aggressive lore / mid-range deck that could stop you from questing with Jaspers and John Silvers. And my whole goal is to quest, and I'm more of a get in early with the questing and stabilize later. So, from my memory, there was just one situation. This was all game one situation. I think I got my Lilo Simba combo off. He ended up answering it really well with a Rafiki, and it was a both back and forth. But I know we got to a game state where it was basically he had 2 Cheshire Cats and a Cusco. He quested with the 2 Cheshire Cats. He just dropped the Cusco, putting him at 13, and I was at 8 lore at the time. So basically he passed to me. I basically had to answer this board, otherwise I lose, because with Cusco plus the Cats, that's 7 lore. He was at 13, equal in game. So my board state was Cerberus, 2 Giant Tinks, and an Aerial. Yeah, 2. And then I think I had a Lilo or Prince Eric and a Stitch on the other, right, on the board. And in my hand, I think it was just an Aerial and some other card that couldn't really deal with the board. So basically, drop the Aerial. Aerial comes into play, look at top 4, find hold the world, grab it to my hand. Alright, so now I have to choose which cards to sing, because I'm looking for a Grab Your Sword so I can get rid of Cusco, because if the Cusco stays, I'm still in trouble, especially if he drops another Cusco. I decide to sing with the Aerial, the whole new world, right? Because I already had an Aerial on board, so we sing, draw a new 7, right? I did not hit any Grab Your Swords, and at this point, I'm like, oh no. This is getting bad. I kind of need Grab Your Sword because I already did the whole new world. I didn't want to get rid of the hand. The hand was kind of solid, but I was going to lose the game. So I ended up singing again. And this time I used Cerberus to sing this. And then throw it into the throw it to the discard pile, draw another 7, and what do you know? I ended up hitting both of the grab your swords. I sung with both of them with my giant tinks, and was able to wipe the board. And then I think I just sang for 2. Oh no, I wasn't able to sing. That was just my board state at that point. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, not singing. Quested for 2. And then with the board wiped, there wasn't much he could do to come back, but I basically YOLO'd that play to try to find these grab your swords, and it worked out. So that was game 1. Then game 2, I was just able to get my game plan going. I had to grab your sword in hand, was able to answer it, and at that point, by the time I hit 10 lore, I was questing for 5 almost every turn. No problem. And yeah, that's just how that went. So that ended up working out really well for my round 2. So now I'm 2-0. Now we're going to 3. Right, game 3. I run into a deck I've never seen until this day. It was a Amber Ruby deck, and I was so thrown off because the first thing he did was aerial with legs. He sent to the inkwell, and I was like, what is going on? What is this? Next thing I know, he is putting off this aggressive, evasive field that I can't hit with Giant Tank in terms of challenging. I have to answer with smashes or my grab your swords. I was able to stabilize the first game, but his Maoris were just wrecking my board. Anytime I was questing, he would have the Maui in hand. He had the Maui in hand. So what I did in response was I was hitting him with You Have Forgotten Me on curve. I waited till his hand went to 2, then I hit him with You Have Forgotten Me, emptied his hand so that he was at least in top deck mode, and I was able to slow it down from being straight up pushed from like from Tigger, because Tigger is probably the beefiest evasive. I was able to get those into the discard pile. Slowly he was blowing up, but I was able to catch up after being at a deficit of 6 to like 10, 6 to 10, 6 12, and I was able to catch up and win game 1. Game 2 didn't go as well. Was not able to stabilize the board as easy. I don't think I had any of my early 1 drops, at least on curve. I ended up getting into it later, and he was just able to hit his tempo plays with the pongos, the goofies, and the Tiggers, and it was just rough. There wasn't much I could do at that point, so he just got me on game 2. And mind you, I did hit him for a second time where You Forgot Me that game with an empty hand, but his just top decks were just immaculate, and my draws were not. Then we go into game 3. Now game 3 was definitely a back and forth between us. I was able to, this time, game 3, answer with smashes and be able to hit it. I did not use You Have Forgotten Me this game because his hand was just too beefy. He didn't get as good of an early start as he did his first 2 games, so I was able to use those as ink and slowly stabilize. I was able to get a board presence, and then it got to a point where he had 3 Tiggers. Mind you, he had 3 Tiggers and a Maui. He had 3 Tiggers, Pongo, and a Maui, and I had to figure out how to get him to lose this. So I think I quested with Lilo to bait it. I played the aerial, searched for a song, and I think it was a grab your sword. I do not recall if it was a grab your sword, but I just know I had a giant tink in my hand. It was a giant tink on board already. So forced that Maui to swing. He took damage earlier from another card, but I was able to drop a giant tink from my hand, drop a grab your swords or sing it, and I was able to hit majority of the board for what I needed, and I was able to quest for like 4 or 5. And at that point, he had to choose if he wanted to quest and try to race me, or he had to challenge in order to slow me down. And obviously he made the better choice, which was to challenge, because he would have lost, because I had enough on board uncontested to win the game. And by him sacrificing majority of his board, I was able to win that round 3. Then we go into round 4. Round 4 was rough for me. It was going against Ruby, Amethyst Ruby Control. I had good starts. had a good start game 1, but I was just drawing all my smaller bodies. I was not hitting any of my songs like I needed to. He was able to establish his early game to fend me off and then get into his late game. Honestly, I think I held on to my Whole New Worlds too long. I probably should have dumped it earlier, but he was just getting such good draws. I was thinking I could win. I don't know why, but either way, throughout that game, I drew in 7 cards deeper. I don't know. It probably could have went different if I Whole New World. I know it probably would have, but that was the issue for both games. I had really bad draw. None of my mid to late game cards were coming. None of my giant tinks. Not even my beasts were coming in on time. Everything was coming like late. And yeah, I wasn't able to get that early aggressive lore run before, you know, the Aladdins and Elsas and be prepared to hit me. So I lost round 4 to Ruby Amethyst Control. So I was 3-1 at that point. Then we go into, wait, what was 3-1? Oh, yeah, 3-1. Then we go into round 5. Round 5, I go against Ruby Amethyst Control again. This time I mulligan hard for the early game. I was able to get good early game for my game 1. I was able to hit my Lilo Simba combo. I was able to hit my aerials into my BR guess. I was just making sure I had the hand control. The hand advantage. And then I was able to catch him with at least 2 cards in hand. I was able to drop the You Have Forgotten Me, put him into an empty-handed state, and I was able to slowly grind out my lore while he had to try the top deck mode. Then I was able to get the same combo off the second game, hit his empty hand with You Have Forgotten Me. This time he was able to bounce back with friends on the other side. But just that one turn of him not having it, because I was able to hit his curve for inking, it was just good enough for me to pull ahead with 5 lore, going from 7 to 12 at that moment. And then I was able to just erase it from there, because I was able to dump my hand onto the board, and he was in top deck mode. I was pretty certain that he either had to have it right then and there, or it was bust, and I was able to do that. And then, so I was at 4-1 at that point. And then went into round 6. Round 6, just ended up taking the draw because we were both going to get in the top 8 based on our records. And man, I was so happy and excited, dude. Going into that tournament, I had the lowest of confidence, but coming out of that tournament, man, I felt on top of the world. It felt amazing. I was playing exceptionally well. I was really proud of myself, especially knowing that I didn't have the 4 Rapunzels like everyone else, nor did I have the Carefree Surfers either. So I was basically relying all on my Rockstar Stitches and just trying to outmaneuver my opponents. So I'm really proud of the way I played. I ended up getting the top 8. This is the deck list here, the image showing it. So, you know, overall, I think this deck is very solid. Just the core of Amber Steel song is just strong, like very strong. And you do have to know what you're doing. It does take a good pilot to win with it. You just can't give the deck to somebody and they just win. I've learned that now, seeing it or playing it like that you do have to know how to pilot, because situations vary, and it definitely comes down to how you maneuver and what you're looking after, and this is a good time to Whole New World and whatnot. So I really do hope this was informative. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope to do some more Lorcana content. Like, comment, subscribe.